are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So we finally got my wife's sister to admit that if you're relatively healthy, even if you get COVID, you're gonna be more or less okay. She did say there are variables, there are outliers, but if you're not an obese chain smoker with diabetes, you're gonna be alright. She's staying here with us at the moment. There are fucking like 10 people in the house now, staying in this house at the moment. Plus another 4 aunties or uncles or friends coming in and out at all times. So there's 14 people in the house at all times. I'm not even fucking joking here. It's a COVID fucking time bomb, this house. But it has been hard work trying to get her to relent on the dangers of COVID-19. I understand why she's so strict about it, because she doesn't want her parents to get it. Her parents are in like the danger zone. I understand that. But I'm like, we're not in the danger zone. Can you at least admit we're not in any danger if we get COVID-19? I don't mean zero danger either. Of course some shit can happen. I mean no more danger than any other fucking random disease that you're going to get. A friend of ours got adult chickenpox a few years ago and was in a coma for a month because of chickenpox. He was fucking 34. I didn't even know you could get chickenpox after the age of 6. And I was like, why is he in a coma anyway? Didn't they give him that pink shit to wipe on the itchy bites? Remember that shit? Or am I just dreaming this up? But they gave you that pink shit to rub on your fucking itchy parts when you had chickenpox when you were younger. In hindsight, that doesn't seem like the most medically advanced way to tackle the chickenpox either. I don't remember that shit working either. I had chickenpox when I was a kid, and I was fucking covered in red welts, just itching. And then the only thing to stop me from itching was that pink shit, like paint. I would feel like my fucking skin's on fire, and then they would just paint pink shit on me. I'm like, I don't think it's working. I still feel like itching every square inch of my fucking body. So that's what I mean. There's fucking dangers out there. You got to watch out for the adult chickenpox as well. But finally, she was like, yeah, if you're healthy, you're pretty much okay. And then she's like, the head of my department, he's a super fit guy. His wife got COVID-19 and he never got it. And she was fine and he was fine. A lot of the doctors got it, they're fine. And then she said, one of the doctors who had the vaccine came in again last week positive for COVID-19. And she's also like, a lot of the patients that we've given the vaccine to are also coming back with COVID-19 as well. And they're shocked. They're like, how the fuck do I have COVID-19? I just took the vaccine. And she has to explain to them that the vaccine doesn't work 100%. It's like 30 or 40% coverage or something like that. And also, not only that, it only covers one strain of COVID-19, and there's like 30 strains now. So she's telling me this, and I'm like, what the fuck is the point of getting the vaccine then? Do you have to get a vaccine for every different strain of this fucking thing? And she's like, yeah, well, there isn't really a point of getting it because you're going to get COVID-19 even if you've got the vaccine. The vaccine might cover 1 or 2 strains, but it doesn't cover all of them. And she's had the vaccine too. She had the first round and she's already had the booster. And she's like, it's more or less fucking redundant. And she was saying the Pfizer one, you have to get a booster for that every 6 months. And still that only covers like 1 or 2 strains. So even if you have that fucking vaccine, it stops working after 6 months. You have to renew it every fucking 6 months. So between these vaccines working at like 30 to 40% and the fucking multiple strains out there in the world, how do you even know what the fuck is going on? Anyway, that brings us nicely to this week's Boyle Breaks History. I haven't done a Boyle Breaks History in a while, but it's back. So this week's topic is another topic that's very close to my heart. Like every Boyle Breaks History, it is the history of vaccines. This is all you need to know about fucking vaccines. Don't worry about the fucking rest of it. This is it. So, a bunch of years ago, smallpox was fucking going insane. It was running rampant. It was killing cunts. It was giving people like fucking acne scars all over their face and their fucking balls and shit. It was fucked. If you've ever seen a picture of someone with smallpox, you'd be like, fucking gross. Anyway, most of the damage was getting done in Europe because in Africa and Asia, they figured out this thing long ago where they would take a little bit of the pus from someone infected with smallpox and put it under the skin of someone else, and it seemed to give them immunity against smallpox. Asia and Africa figured this out. Europe were very skeptical about this until like 400 years later, after millions upon millions of cunts with shit teeth died. Some English cunt noticed that the milkmaids in England never seemed to contract smallpox, and he hung out with these meter maids for a while, and every now and then one of these meter maids would get cowpox from milking the cows, and the symptoms and the disease closely resembled smallpox, but it was far milder, and they would recover from it quickly, and then they would never get smallpox either. So the English cunt put two and two together, and he's like, well, there must be a relationship between smallpox and cowpox and these meter maids not getting smallpox. So what he decided to do was deliberately infect someone with cowpox and then months later infect that same person with smallpox and see what the result was. The only thing he needed was a ready and willing volunteer. So he chose his gardener's son. On the thing I was watching about this, the way they said that was like it was a gift this guy gave this gardener's son. He chose his gardener's son. What a man. Like they played hero music when they said that. His gardener's son. Dun dun. I don't think the gardener would have been too fucking happy about that. Or the son. They're like, what? You're gonna what? He's like, shut the fuck up. Give me your fucking son or I'll behead you. And in the cartoon I was watching, because that's how I do my research, I watch cartoons on history. On the cartoon I was watching, the kid was sitting there, the gardener's son was sitting there with a big smile on his face, getting an injection of cowpox. So I don't know if they've changed the history of what actually happened there, but I just don't think the gardener's son or the gardener was too excited about this English cunt's experiment. So anyway, he did it. He injected the gardener's son with cowpox and then came back about 3 months later and injected him with smallpox. Again, I'm not too sure how excited the gardener was about that. But it worked. His body had built up the antibodies to fight off the smallpox, and then he kept on testing it on other gardeners' kids. I don't think he was using his own kids. That's all I'm trying to say. He wasn't using any of his own family. There was a lot of gardeners' kids. There was a lot of fucking blacksmiths' kids. It was a lucky break for that gardener's son, but can you imagine all the other horse shit they tried on fucking gardeners' sons before that? It wasn't the first time they experimented with fucking gardeners' sons. Anyway, I think that's the fucking history of vaccines. And then after that, Bill Gates took over. Then they started microchipping people and shit. And now we're here at COVID-19 and you need a boost every 6 months. Anyway, that's it for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around with your friends. Hit me up on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you the fuck later.